Welcome everyone. I am your host Pico, and today we are gonna talk about the patch notes. And I know it is super late to talk about the patch notes, but yeah, I'm super lazy. So that said, let's just jump right into it. Let's talk a little bit about this patch because it looks really exciting. It looks really exciting. Being Monday, the 29th now, it should have been applied already, but it got delayed. And I was checking the video quality, and I think it might not be super neat, the notes. So we're just gonna go through them, and I will read them to you guys. So even if they don't appear super neat, we'll be able to go through them together. Now, the very first thing we see is Fairy Kings. All the Fairy Kings, but Daphnis is still doesn't get a buff. Now, we need to remember he got buffed a few patches ago, but it wasn't all that exciting. For me, I think where I land on buffing Daphnis is on his third skill should be like take an extra turn after this one. That should fix him, right? Then he is able to nuke and then do skill 2. Anyhow, Wind Fairy King gets a nerf, a little bit of a nerf on the ventilate, same as the light one. Now they cannot target themselves anymore. It used to be where they could go over like ventilate into violent proc into reduce attack bar once again, and it was just crazy. So it's fixed a little bit, and then the Life Fairy King gets a decreased cooldown on his skill 3, which is nice. I don't know if he's gonna get any better or not, but we saw the tier list that was posted a few days ago, and he's very well placed, so he might be alright. Now, then we have the Paladins. A lot of people keep complaining about these Paladins. They feel like they are not as they should, they're not as powerful as they should. In my opinion, they're amazing, all of them. Of course, I only have the one that is free to play. But we can see here that the Water Paladin gets on his passive, or her passive. 2018, we do not assume genders here. When it used to be when she was under inability effects, now is when an ally is under inability effects. So it's even more useful now, right? It's a very interesting balance there, a little bit of a buff. The Fire one gets a shield to all the allies now, so it's a little bit better, a little bit of a more defensive skill than it used to. And of course, the big update there is the Light Paladin getting the exact thing that we were wanting on her or him. And it is the recovery HP on the first skill is now not only on the allies excluding yourself, but now you get the recovery on yourself. So now you can build her violent revenge, or full revenge, and slow but with a lot of HP, crit damage and HP, and very good crit rate. And now she's gonna be hitting quite a bit. So I'm really looking forward to this buff here. And of course, the big item of this patch would be this Dragon Wind Illusion of Time that now removes all harmful effects. Now, let's just go ahead and read that skill, because it looks like a very powerful skill already that just got better. So here we have Illusion of Time. All ally skills will become instantly available. Except this, of course, this skill will not be affected by this, right? So now all the cooldowns, all cooldowns back up. And on top of that, it cleanses. So say if your team goes, you have a team of 4 and goes 1 to 3, and then the whole opponent team goes and CCs your team, but your Jamire is on will or whatever. He reboots those cooldowns, cleanses everybody, and everybody goes back again. So it got really nice. People are telling me he's going to be amazing on R5, and I think so. I think so. So yeah, it got really nice. It's by far the best buff of the update, or at least that's what seems to be the case now. Moving on, we have Sylphids. The water one got a decreased cooldown on her heal. Now this is quite interesting because that heal is a single target heal, but it's cleanse and heal the full amount. So it is pretty powerful. It is pretty powerful, and the fact that it's now 4 turns, and it might be even lower with some skill ups, I'm not sure. I have not built one. But that is a very interesting and very appropriate thing to make the healer even better, because these Sylphids are underused. Same goes for the Wind, who gets a buff on the shield, and also, well that's it, right? Gets a buff on the shield, but now the shield is proportional to the max HP of the caster, so that's a little bit how the 33% comes to be. The Cobalt Bombers now have, instead of blocking beneficial effects, the skill cooldown time of this skill will be decreased by 1 turn each time enemies are inflicted with continuous damage. So this has the potential of being activated on a loop. So we'll see how that works. I'm still skeptical about this one, but of course they got more use, because nobody uses these Cobalt Bombers anyhow, but they might get some use now that they have fixed a little bit those skills. Another very interesting free-to-play unit is Sigmaros, the Phoenix, the Water Phoenix, who gets his skill 2 now deals damage proportional to the enemy max HP. So that's gonna be hitting way harder now. Probably a good place where you're gonna be wanting to use him is light raid, right? And of course he's gonna be used more on TOA. Now that a couple lines below we can see that he is getting a freeze if he lands a critical hit on his skill 3, so very nice to see that Sigmaros is now a very interesting unit. We might even see it on RTA a little bit. And then the Light Phoenix gets on his Holy Orb. I have no idea if that's a skill 2, 3 or whatever. Inflicts damage proportional to your attack power, the enemy's max HP. So it's a little bit the same as Frozen Orb, right? Now we have the Phantom Thief. Now stun's a little bit higher, stun rate is a little bit higher. Now that stun was already powerful. So if it wasn't nerfed before, because I feel like it got nerfed before, but I cannot be sure. I never built one. But now he does stun rate on 30%. So if you're early game and you want to play RTA or Arena, that might work. That might work for you. Now another very interesting unit that got their skills fixed and a certain buff are the PRETs. We already used the dark one, the water one, and a little bit of the wind one. Now the wind one is very interesting because it's a very good Giants B10 unit, so you can really use them. Even the wind one, you could even use it on Necro B10, right? So they have a lot of uses. But we see here that the fire one gets a very interesting change on her skill, which now elongates the harmful effects a little bit like Pang, the light Hua. It's only a 15% chance, and it's only when used with full HP. But having a chance to elongate stuns sounds very nice. Now, if you build this Pirette on Despair, she has a chance then of going disperse stun and then elongate that same disperse stun, right? So she got really interesting buff. She might even be used on RTA now. This is one of those that we are going to have to be very close, paying very close attention. But I really like it. In my opinion, all pirouettes are now worth max skilling, maxing all those skills and those levels above all 40, level 40. They all have uses. Why? The light one gets as well a little bit of a buff. So now her skill 3 will do the same thing as the dark one's skill 3, which fills up the attack bar by 100%. So say you're using her in the dark grade beast. Her skill 3 will do certain amount of hits, then go once again and do another 2 turns if she uses the first skill, right? So she got a little bit of a buff there as well. Then we have all these that a lot of people already covered. Natural 3-star units. Really not much else to say about them. And I really don't think I want to spend time going through them. I personally don't even have built any of these. But it's a little bit more of a balance, right? We want to keep the game balanced, and in the future, as we saw with the special leagues, they might be planning to do a all nat 3 or below league, or stuff like that. Or so we have to keep an eye on these kind of things, right? Because the cowgirls get a little bit of a damage buff, the imp champion gets a better stun rate, the mummies get a little bit of a modification on their skills, where now they deal a little bit more damage or recover a little more health. So it's a thing where we need to keep an eye on. The one that is particularly more interesting is the water mummy, who gets a freeze rate of 50% now. So that might be very interesting, because this mummy might be now freezing pretty much all the time. And it's a passive, so we need to keep an eye on that. The beast monsters finally get that modification where they are an HP type monsters now. That is the light and dark one. The Dark Monkey King had the same fix. Now, I don't know if that was necessary. But then again, the amount of people that have Dark Monkey Kings is not that huge, so we'll see. Same goes with the Pixie, Shannon, and the Wind Sylphid. Again, these are monsters that weren't really, their stats didn't really fit the way they should have. But now that we have this fix, maybe it is way better now. Finally, we have some skill errors. Molong wasn't doing Reckless Assault the right way against monsters that had defend on them, that is the Hog. And then the Light Leech was not working properly with certain skills. Just the minor fixes, right? And then I think that's the Wind Beast getting a little bit of a buff. We'll see. There you have it, folks. There you have it. That is this patch. So it looks very interesting. With this patch also comes in a little bit of an increase on the monster box. So keep an eye on that. Make sure you upgrade your monster box as soon as this update goes through. That said, as always, I am your host Pico, and I hope to see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to click on that like button, subscribe if you like the content, and don't forget that we have a stream scheduled on Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays during the week. So if you would like to check out the stream, that is the normal schedule. Usually starts around noon global server time if you're playing global. But that said, as always, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video.